popular T20 format of IPL is all set to wind up on May 29, 2022. Just 15 minutes before a match begins, buzzing the phones of fantasy game users to check on their dream team as they take a chance on their favorite players based on their previous performances. Online skill-based gaming industry has made a case for retaining the service under the 18% GST slab instead of putting it into the highest 28% tax rate category, saying the move will badly hit the 15,000 crore sector. The issue has gained traction as the GST Council in its next meeting may take a call on hiking rate as on casino, racecourse and online gaming services to 28% suggested by a panel of state finance ministers. Let us understand what's worrying this sector. The tax legal guidelines for games of probability and games of talent are totally different. Games of talent are taxed at 18% on platform charges, also called gross gaming revenue (GGR) or rake fee. Games of chance are taxed at 28% on contest entry amount, additionally referred to as stakes. The fantasy gaming business clearly doesn't wish to be bracketed as a sport of probability and thereby taxed greater. Advocating the need for levying tax on GGR alone, the online gaming industry has maintained that taxing on GGR instead of the prize pool has proven to increase tax revenue in the long term. And with international learnings also indicating the same, several recommendations have been sent to the GST Council ahead of the scheduled meeting to plug revenue leakage by preventing shift of the business to the grey market, lowering the contributions to digital and Startup India programs and discouraging non-compliance with a prevalent global practice. Back in the Union Budget of 2022, the online gaming sector had huge expectations from the government demanding progressive policy and to consider levying a lower tax slab than the existing 18% to aid this. Higher taxation may cripple the business and put in danger a lot of tens of millions that many fantasy game startups mopped up. Before we get to the taxation part, let's understand what is it that attracts the sector's supercharged progress. Online fantasy sports activities give customers an opportunity to create their very own digital workforce based mostly on proxies of actual gamers taking part in the upcoming match of cricket or soccer or kabaddi or basketball. Gaming platforms like Games 24/7 and Dream11 present a platform to play online fantasy sport activities. The fantasy sports activities business has seen an amazing progress in India during the last couple of years, hitting a market measurement of over 34,000 crores. A report by Federation of Indian Fantasy Sports (FIFS) and Deloitte expects it to develop to 1.65 lakh crore by 2024-25. There are over 13 crore fantasy sports activities customers throughout India. The consumer base has grown at a compound annual progress price of 130% between 2016 and 2021. Siddhant Maheshwari, a long-time fantasy game player, takes into account factors like understanding the game, form, past records of the players and conditions they will be playing in before picking players in his team. He agrees that these games can be addictive, but at least for him it is an outlet where he can utilize knowledge to try and win money. Plus, there is life-changing prize money involved like 1 crore to 2 crore for every important cricket match. If you're the lucky one, then wow. Siddhant says that most of the time people don't even know how much GST they are paying when they join a particular league, because at the end of the day, joining a league for as little as 39 to 49 rupees can win you 1 crore to 2 crore. Siddhant usually plays fantasy games on Dream11 and has won money far more than he has spent on these online fantasy games. He says that the profit is definitely in lakhs. Online games are banned in Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Nagaland, Sikkim and Telangana. But many states wish to regulate the sector somewhat than ban it outright. The government too seems encouraging towards the growth of the gaming business. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi too spoke of the potential of the net gaming business at a post-budget seminar in March. There are 2 points at hand: the tax price and the worth at which the tax price needs to be levied. However, there is still ambiguity on the valuation of these services. That is, what is the transaction value on which the GST 18% should be levied? A user is required to pay an entry fee for playing an online game, say fantasy cricket or fantasy football. A portion of this entry fee, say 10%, is retained by the online gaming operator as its service fee, which is the revenue of the platform. The balance 90% is retained as a prize pool money and distributed to the winners. Currently, the industry position is that GST should be paid on the 10% service fee and the balance 90% should be treated as the actionable claims on which no GST is payable. If the profit for any participant is greater than 10,000 rupees, TDS is deducted at 30% and the remaining quantity will get transferred to the gamers. The issue under discussion and dispute with the tax authorities is whether GST should be deposited only on the 10% service fee or on the entire 100% including the prize money. This difference in GST liability is significant and can certainly be a game changer for several online gaming startups. Let's say there are 4 gamers paying 100 rupees as a contest entry fee each to take part in a skill-based online sport. The total contest entry payment would come up to 400 rupees. Assume the platform payment is 20%. Now the gaming operator will deduct 20% of 400 rupees, that is 80 rupees, and can put 320 rupees in a pool account. This quantity will go to the winner. Currently, gaming operators pay tax at 18% on the platform payment collected, which is 80 rupees in this case. If a platform presents a sport of probability, it must pay 28% GST on the entire contest entry payment. In this case, had it been a sport of probability, the gaming operator would have shelled out 28% of 400 rupees in direction of GST. This is the reason why the classification of the games is key. Most online gaming platforms keep their average participation ticket price at a low cost, somewhere between 25 to 50 rupees, which is incomparable to unrestrained entry values in activities such as horse racing or casinos. The panel of group of ministers that held a meeting on May 2nd, 2022 and is of the view that existing distinction between a game of skill and a game of chance should be removed. If this recommendation is accepted by the GST Council, it is likely that the GST rate on the games of skill will increase from the current 18% to 28% as applicable to game of chance such as betting or lotteries. With regards to the taxable base on which GST should be levied, a decision may be taken in the next meeting, which may take place soon. Tax advocate and GST expert Gaurav Gupta says that a GST rate whip may not be a good idea at this time when the online skill-based gaming industry is on an upswing. Rather than a blanket rise in the rate, the industry needs a clear set of rules to determine when a game is considered as a game of chance, and secondly, a set of rules for handling prize pool money so that such amount is not subjected to tax in the hands of the supplier. This is important to avoid litigation and save the upcoming ventures from ending the Michael Bassman way. Money9 suggests, check on your match entry or payment window for the tax amount. Invest in such games at your own risk. Keep a lookout as going forward, these online games could fall under the luxury segment 28% GST, leading to considerable amount of tax cuts.